thought this was their show? Wrong channel. You know why we're here. To take over. No rules. No permission. No apologies. Just business. Found him! Ah! It's the Syndicate! Run! Nowhere! Business is booming, boys! We big and take over! What's happening, everybody, and welcome to the Suplex Syndicate. I am Tactical Santa, joined by Spray Zilla and the Heartbreaker Sasquatch. Look at that. Always making it hard for me, Sasquatch. Always making me read that. But anyway, fellas, it's been a minute. We haven't been live in like 2 weeks because of work schedules, but man, we got a lot to catch up on. But how are you guys doing tonight?
Go ahead, Jay.
New job, new schedule, same great guy. So, am I lagging? Am I good? Gotcha.
Nope. Keep
on. Moved. Got into a new space, office, new everything. Hey, I backdrop up, and just doing big things. And wrestling's popping right now, so I am glad that we are back to a norm. Sasquatch, what about you, bud?
I'm just living life, man. I'm putting out some new stuff constantly. Got some new stuff coming up in the future in the next couple of weeks. I got a new drop coming out on Saturday. Got a new blend coming out on Saturday. Things are going like crazy right now, you know.
Speaking of the Elegant Sasquatch, we are sponsored by him. We want to.
Hey, relax. Go ahead, Dino.
So we're sponsored by the Elegant Sasquatch. Check out Suplex for 20% off. And if you have not checked out this wonderful set of oils that he's done, check it out. The Greek Gods, they are absolutely amazing. I will be running all 4 this week because to me, it's a Greek God type of week coming up this week. I'm going to get them all in. I'm going to report back. But guys, you cannot go wrong with any of the Elegant Sasquatch stuff. Check them out, whether you want oils, butters, and beard washes, colognes too. He's got colognes, so check him out. Use Suplex 20 to get some savings, and you're going to be a buyer for life once you try him out. So guys, we got a lot of catching up to do. I figured Squatch and I were talking backstage. Let's start off with SummerSlam, even though we're a little bit late, but let's start off with SummerSlam day 1, day 2. Let's get all caught up.
Hold on. Before we go any further, we got to get Jay to get whatever's on his chest, and then we'll proceed. Go ahead, Jay. Or not. Oh, okay. All right. Since he's lagging like always. Okay. Yeah. SummerSlam was. It had its moments. Like there were some really good matches, and at the same time, there has been some god awful matches. Like. I don't know about you, but the match of the weekend was the Penta and Chad Gable matchup. That was fantastic. That was probably top. Why is it Chad Gable's been in the top 2 matches of the year so far?
Right,
which is really, really nuts.
I think the only thing that messed up the Chad Gable match and Penta match was at the end with that mug root beer.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, but the match itself was fantastic. Yeah, the match itself was fantastic.
Exactly.
Maybe we should start off with the elephant in the room when it comes to SummerSlam, but the Brock Lesnar match with Oba. I thought it was a good match, but here's a problem I have with it. Oba kicked out of everything. So now you have made him this wrestling god, right? What do you do with him now? Who do you put him up against? What do you do with him now? Because he kicked out of a tombstone pile driver.
Yep.
He kicked out of all this stuff, and now what do you do?
Yeah,
You've launched him to the ceiling. Now, what do you do now?
yeah,
What do you do now with him?
he kicked down on a tombstone on the wood of the ring. So
Right,
that's now you're like, oh, okay. And then apparently he missed the spot where he was supposed to power bomb Brock
right,
on the wood. And what made it worse was the camera angle was showing Brock looking at the wood, which made it
right,
even more obvious. And
right,
I mean, the only thing that I can see them doing with Oba from now, since the bloodline is now stronger, is he
right.
just wiping out the bloodline and just squashing Roman Reigns and just saying, yeah, I just did all that. But then at that point, now you have an even bigger problem because you just beat your number one guy. You know?
Right, right. So yeah, I mean, I like the fact I like the ending where Brock handed the torch to him,
Yeah.
talked about how he was the past, Oba's the future. I love that. They did a really good job with all that, but you're just gonna have a problem now because there's nobody that's credible that you can put 'em. I mean, okay, so they're making the next step they're going for, fast forwarding a little bit, is they're making a big deal out of Braun Breaker going after Oba, and it's like,
Okay.
really?
Like I don't know what happened with Braun where they dropped the ball on him so badly. Like
Right,
he was hot, and then as soon as he got hurt the second time, they just like,
right,
well, okay, we're done. We can't
right,
trust you to stay healthy for a push now, which kind of
right.
sucks. So
Well, it almost seems too with this whole thing, because they brought Paul
mm,
Heyman into this, and now you have the doubt and suspicion, is Oba a Paul Heyman guy? Um, you never know. To me, it would make sense if Oba went with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, I think Paul Heyman could help him out, especially on the mic, cutting better promos.
I mean,
Um,
he already does cut a pretty good promo. I mean,
I
I,
mean, he's okay, but I think Paul Heyman would be a better mouth to get him where he needs to be.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Um, I can see that, and I think it would work great because now you've taken one beast incarnate, retired, and replaced him with the new beast. So I
yeah.
think that storyline would work. But moving on, we were talking about this backstage a little bit, but man, the women's ladder match and Chelsea Green winning it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody saw that coming.
No,
Not
nobody did.
one bit. Not one bit.
Right.
Um, it was crazy. Like just the sit up alone that Chelsea did on a ladder.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that where she basically did a sit up as the
Right.
ladder is fully extended to
Yep.
get to win the title. But there were some bumps. Who was it? Somebody had. I'm sorry. It's been like 2 weeks
Right.
since it's happened. Somebody had taken a move off the top onto the ladder that just looked painful, and I'm like, oh my god. That's the one thing I don't like about ladder matches is it just they look. They're supposed to look painful, but some of the
Right.
bumps are unnecessary, and it's just makes me cringe. But I'm all for Chelsea winning. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with her.
Right.
Even though she, jumping ahead a little bit, she quote unquote try to give up the title, and Nick Aldis is like, "No, you're
Right.
not. You're gonna get better. You're gonna keep it." But then at the same time, now Nia Jax wants a part of it, which I'm kind of
Right.
worried about because Nia Jax doesn't have such a great safe work
Right.
history.
Right.
So, and she
You,
even, she even called it out too. So,
right. I'm actually the same thing. I was glad to see Chelsea Green win it. I thought that was really cool. She's been putting in
mm,
a lot of work. She's been doing a lot of stuff,
yep,
and I thought that was a good way to mix up the division. You
yep,
know,
yep.
and then you fast forward, like you said last night, and then she kind of caused Tiffy to lose the U.S. women's belt in a
See,
way,
yeah, I didn't.
in a way,
Yeah, I
you
didn't
know.
see SmackDown, so I don't know exactly what happened. I'm sorry, I missed it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So, but
Yes.
yeah. So that definitely happened, and then
Yeah.
we do have to slightly touch on the Nick Aldis Gunther match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nick Aldis, who hasn't wrestled in 3 or 4 years, first time in WWE wrestling, he looked great for what it was. You know,
Yeah.
it was a 10-minute squash match, if that makes any sense.
No, it
But
was. Yep.
he looked great, and I wish he was still a competitor because I think he could. I think he could do big things. But I guess he's really happy at where he is right now. His
Right.
body's happy. Like from the interviews I've seen with him lately, his body's happy. You know what I mean? So
Right.
good for him.
Yeah.
But the match itself was it was okay.
Right.
You know, Gunther is they don't quite know what to do with Gunther's style
Yeah.
because he's a
Yeah.
throwback to the old school, and none of the fans like the old school wrestling anymore.
Right.
So it was all right.
Well, speaking of Gunter, then he ends up on night 2 in a fatal 4-way match.
Yeah. And the other person was it was Sami Zayn, Gunther. Who was it? I'm sorry, it was Finn Balor, and then
And
Kevin Owens made the surprise return, which blew the roof off. Nobody saw that coming.
Right.
We knew he was back training, but we didn't know he was going to be coming back. And fast forward now, he's going after Punk, and
Right.
they legitimately have beef with each other. It's not. This isn't a shoot a kayfabe beef. This is a shoot
Right.
beef. Like this
Right.
is legit. And yeah, it. I'm kind of excited to see how this is going to happen. I think it's this coming week, right?
Yep. Yep. I believe it is.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because you want a match and not at a pay per view. It's going to be on TV, but it is what it is. So if Kevin wins, which I have a feeling Kevin might win, just to give Punk some time off.
Right.
You know? So
right. Yeah, I can see that happening. You know, it's crazy because, like you said, nobody expected it, man. You know, you think the big swerve is, oh, Gunter's, it's a fatal, 3-way now, and then all of a sudden, out comes Kevin Owens, and it's a fatal 4-way. So yeah, that was a pretty good swerve from everybody, involved. The match was pretty decent. I thought it wasn't too bad. It was decent.
yeah. And Kevin, for being out a year and a half, he looked really great.
Right.
He showed a little ring rust, but that would come off soon. And
Right.
you know, Finn is still putting on great matches, and I'm glad KO knocked the crap out of Sammy. You know, so
Right. Yeah. Yep. What else do we have at SummerSlam?
that
Roman
yeah,
Reigns
the
and
Roman Reigns. You also had the LA Knight 3-way match, which okay. And then the disappointment match of the night was the opening match of night 1, the Liv Morgan Io Sky match.
Yeah.
And just to have Liv win again, it was just it was terrible, yeah. So
Io looked good, man. I really wanted Io to win. She looked good, and didn't pull it off. But I don't know what they're doing with Liv, but for some reason they are stuck on her.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Jay, are you back with us? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Maybe.
You're lagging a little bit, but that's okay. We'll make it work.
keep going.
Yep.
All right. Try to get this going. New internet. I heard Roman Reigns. I heard Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about them, how they have real life heat between each other and all that jazz. So the promos that they're cutting are not regular WWE promos. They're like they want to say some stuff that's happened in the past, and I kind of want to hear it.
Right. What about so speaking of which, what about the
does it all Go ahead. I'm lagging.
What about the Cody Punk match?
We've seen it how many times now? Like
I'm over
RKO comes back though.
it.
Randy Orton.
And now Randy's the bad guy, and I'm like, oh, come on, why?
Yep.
why is Randy the heel? Like, that makes no sense. You're gonna turn him into the old Randy? No, nobody wants that. Everybody wants Cody, and they don't want to do it. Which, okay,
Right.
but
Right.
all right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think we kind of went over SummerSlam.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's seen anything. It's been 2 weeks, but here's my biggest disappointment coming out of SummerSlam. Biggest disappointment coming out of SummerSlam. Nobody asked for Big Cass by himself. Why did they bring Big Cass without Enzo? It's making no sense.
None.
None. No
I
sense at
don't know.
all.
I don't know. I heard something about Enzo
Ooh.
has something against WWE and didn't want to sign, but would you rather just work the Indies in North Jersey for the rest of your life? Like, makes no sense.
Or it's a work and they're waiting to bring him in because he was ready to go. He was training down at NXT. So I think maybe it's a work. They're trying to do something really quick with to do something with timing, but it's disappointing when you look at that. You're like, why would you do that? And bringing Big Cass out, he did. I mean, that kind of character that he played, that character, it failed
Oh
terribly
yeah.
before.
Yeah, he doesn't have the personality to pull that off. He's not mean enough to be a legit monster, and he
Right,
can't cut a promo to save his life. You know
right,
what I mean? Like, it was very, like, the one promo that he cut, it was
right.
very scripted, and he was trying to look intimidating, and he just kind of looked like a crackhead.
Well,
It just didn't work, you know?
yeah, they brought Baron Corbin back, right?
Yes.
And now
Yep.
you're like, is this like the Temu Wish version of Baron Corbin?
Yeah, but
Like,
the issue is Baron Corbin can wrestle and he can cut a promo. Like,
right.
that's
But that's what I'm saying. Did we get the Temu version of Baron Corbin?
I don't know. I don't know. Oh, and speaking of which, I have a question for you. So
Mhm.
after SummerSlam and after he won the title from Trick, does he have to shave that belt? Like,
He didn't. He didn't. He had it out the other night and he still had it. So
oh my
here's my
God, that's
question to you.
crazy.
Are they leaving it because Trick is going to get it back?
Or
Because
that belt costs too much money for them to get a new one.
right, right. I'm like, because I was waiting for that when he came out last Friday night. I'm like, all right, let's see the belt, and the belt is still furry.
Yeah,
He is not. He is
I would
not did it.
love to see him in the middle of the ring with a pair of hair clippers just going to town on that belt, trying to get all that fur off. That'd be hilarious.
Right, right. Yeah. But now they've got the match. I can't remember who won another night, but it was Mello versus Corbin, I believe.
Yeah, they've buried Mello so badly. Like,
Yep.
he had such promise when he got called up, and then they've
Right.
done nothing with him. Like,
Right.
we're waiting for that Trick versus Mello match on the main roster, which is never going to happen.
Right.
And it's just they buried him. He's now he's an enhancement talent with a
Right.
name. Like,
Right.
why do that
Right.
to
Right.
him?
Well, there's been a lot of things that have happened. I mean, so now we've got Solo, who
Mhm.
lost the match, and now he has to go to the Bloodline again. So now you're going to have Roman, the Usos, Jacob Fatu, and Solo
Yep.
all on the Bloodline.
Yep.
What do you think about that move, Squash? Do you think that was the right thing to do with Solo?
No, because Solo was just starting to get hot with that whole,
Yep.
like, cheesy face gimmick that he had, and it was great. That pew pew pew, like,
Right.
I thought that was great, and then they just completely 100% just dropped the ball. So what are they going to do? So I have a feeling Jacob's not completely happy with this whole
Right.
bloodline situation because
Right.
just how Jacob is, and I know
Right.
Solo won't be happy. So I have a
Right.
feeling one of those two, or if not both of them, are going to turn on the bloodline at some point. You know?
Yep. That would be my guess too, because both of them are forced to come back to the Bloodline. They didn't
Yeah,
want to, but now
exactly.
you've got the wild card though now because now you have the MFTs with
Yep.
Haku there.
Oh
Haku
yeah.
leading them.
Yep. Yeah. They're the champs.
Yep.
Um, That was interesting. Interesting that they brought Haku back because I wasn't seeing that at all. But
Right.
it fits. It fits. They're still rocking the Gorilla of Destiny face paint, which I really like. So
Right.
that makes sense. Bringing in a legend like that. So
Right.
now with Haku in play, is he gonna say, "Hey, I am the tribal chief, and you should bow down to me"? Is that what it is? Because like even at his old age, I'm still taking Haku over Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah. Haku, dude. When you got a guy like Andre the Giant running from you and scared, yeah,
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 I'm taking
and
him.
I don't care if you're almost 80 years old. I would still be worried about you.
Right.
So
Haku is like the wrestling version of Chuck Norris. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yep,
not messing with that dude, man. You know.
yep, yep.
Yep. But
So
so now we get into, so speaking of Roman Reigns, so what's coming next for Roman Reigns? Because now he's who's coming after him? LA Knight with his Walmart watch. That was actually a pretty funny funny promo. But
yeah, that was great, and Roman actually had like a 350 or $400,000 watch on,
five
which was
hundred
kind of
thousand
nuts.
dollar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
five.
is nuts.
Right. Yeah. So you look at that. I like LA Knight. I'm just not feeling it. I don't think they're ever going to give it to LA Knight.
You know what? I would love to have him
Sure.
get a title. Basically do the 1 week, maybe 2 week block, and then just not give it to him again. Just say, "Hey, I had the title. I can't win it back."
Right. Right. I don't know. I mean, I like LA Knight, but it just seems like anytime he gets close, they don't let it happen, you
Yeah,
know? Um,
and then what? How big of a pop would that be if he did win it? Like
yeah.
that place would go nuts. You know.
Oh, it would. It would. Yeah.
So
You feel bad for the guy because in my eyes, he deserves it. Give him a little bit of a title run. He's been
yeah,
putting in work, and
he's
people
only
like
had the
him.
yeah he's only had the one title that one time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So give him some gold. Let him run it for a month or two, and then but at least put it on his way so he can say that he was champion one
exactly,
time. You
exactly.
know. Yep. But what else is going on? The women's division is kind of crazy now too.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, a
Um.
little bit.
Yeah. Um. Let's see here. We got a comment. Only way LA Knight gets it is if Roman needs a break to film another movie. Yeah, unfortunately, I agree with you too. I don't think they're gonna put it on him. I wish they would just give him a chance, but I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
You know. Um, Here's another question for you. So Chad Gable has got the United States, the Intercontinental Championship, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are they lining him up to feud with next?
Um, that's a great question. I'm not for sure because he beat Penta.
Yep.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Yep. Because I know the big thing, and he's going to keep doing is he's a fighting champion.
Yeah,
So they're going to be running him pretty hard, getting him people to wrestle in matches. But it'll be interesting to see who he's going to be feuding with next. And then
exactly. I have no idea. I have no
right,
clue.
right.
Um, hold
Speaking of
on.
the women,
No.
Raquel's.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say Raquel's got the belt too. Doesn't she have yeah, she's got the isn't it the Intercontinental Women's Championship?
Yeah, yeah. Chad Gable is going to be going up against Rey Mysterio.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. At AAA. Aren't they going to do it at AAA or no?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, and then Raquel finally got a title around her waist on the main roster,
Right.
which I'm really happy about. It's a
Right.
building block. And you know what? I'd love to see a Raquel Lash Legend fight. I
That
would
would be a
love to
good
see
one.
that. That would be awesome because two powerhouses going at each other. That'd be great.
Right.
Or hell, Raquel versus Roxanne. That would be even great too.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what's going to go on there because maybe we see the showdown between Liv Morgan and Raquel for a heavyweight match.
Maybe it would probably be at maybe Survivor Series, maybe, or
Yeah.
one of the bigger pay-per-views, not one of the smaller ones. But yeah,
Right.
I can definitely see that. So
Yeah. Because
we've been talking about this for a while though. So
right. I mean, they really need to get rid of Judgment Day. You know.
yeah, yeah,
Um.
it should have died months ago, if not a year ago. So
Right. Right. Speaking of somebody who's been getting heat lately, there's been a lot of people really criticizing Danhausen.
yeah.
Um. He's been,
It's not so much them criticizing Housen himself. They're
yeah.
criticizing WWE for putting him out there so much.
Right.
Like
Right.
he's in almost every segment or every other segment. It's
Right.
too much. I would hate to say it. You're killing the novelty that is Danhausen. Like
Right.
once, maybe twice a show, maybe, but not
Yeah.
on every show, not on every TV program,
Right.
sporting event, none of that. You don't need to put them all out there for that. But again,
Right.
in WWE spirit, they have one good idea and then they're going to run it into the ground.
Right. Well, the problem is they look at that and be like, he's selling so much merchandise. You know, where he's selling how many Knicks jerseys and how many this, and let's put him on everything because no matter where we put his face, it sells. And
Yeah,
that's the problem is, you know, it is they're overdoing it with Danhausen. I like him, and I hope they don't take him away permanently, but
yeah, yeah.
I like him. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yep. Jay, are you back with us? Yeah, we got him in spirit. He's on the screen. He
we got to
must have
look at
froze
that
again.
ugly mug now. Great, thanks. Thanks, Jay. Good, glad you're contributing to the show.
Right, right. But yeah, so who do you think for now has the stronger women's division? Do you think it's Monday night or Thursday night? Or Friday night, I mean.
I'm still. That's a horror. You know what? It's still Friday. It's still Friday, just because
Yeah,
of the names that they have, and it's still Friday. Um,
right,
even with Rhea being out, you got
right.
Naya, you got Tiff, you got. I think isn't Chelsea on both shows or is she on Fridays?
She's Friday night champion.
Okay, yeah, so Friday, who like
Right.
Monday only has Liv, Becky. Yeah, it's still Friday.
Well, they got Stephanie Vicure back too. Stephanie Vicure came back.
Yeah.
So
So
she's back. She's back, and it kind of an interesting thing going on because Becky Lynch went out against Liv, and then Steph Vicure came out, and now there's heat with all of them. So that's an interesting triangle right there. See what's going to happen. Um,
what you got,
I
Jay?
With the Danhausen, I think you guys are right that they're shoving it down our throats. I like damn, we needed that, and I'm gonna say it. We needed that with the Bray Wyatt story. We needed that. So the storytelling. We needed the story to be told for something like that. Danhausen, it's funny, it's comical, but sooner or later the laughs are gonna stop. They're gonna burn everybody out. But it, or they're so afraid about shoving Braun Breaker down our throats or Oba or anything, but you're gonna take the one thing that's funny. They didn't do that with truth. Why are they doing it with now
right,
with Dan Housen? Like, it was funny with our truth because it was spurts. Chelsea Green, new face. It's a new champion. It's not the same old Becky Lynch story. I mean, I think Chelsea Green's pretty well accurate to keep going with this. I think she deserves a shot.
right. Well, like we said, we got to see what's going on with Chelsea because she's got 30 days to either get a mask or get better. Because
Get all that
when, when yeah, when when
action.
Nick was out there, when Nick was out there, and he was like, "Well, you might have to give it up." And I'm like, "What are we gonna do? Have a second interim?" women's champion. Like that
I
would be
mean,
horrible.
they didn't do anything like that when Rhea broke her face, like what
Right.
a couple months ago, where she just had the mask. They didn't do that the last couple of times. They didn't do that. They're like, well, you can't wrestle. I'm like,
Well,
she has a
well.
mask.
To be fair, it is Rhea Hogan, so they do whatever they want with her, But
That's not okay with me, brother.
but yeah, I'm glad they didn't strip Chelsea. I want to see what she does with it, And to be honest with you, I really want Jade and her faction to go after Fatal Attraction. I want them to feud. Um, I think that'll help both of those factions out. Um, let that go because I don't know what Charlotte Flair what they're gonna do with Charlotte Flair. I don't know what she's gonna be doing, but I think sending both factions at each other would probably be a pretty good idea at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can definitely see that, but I don't know what they're going to be doing. Like, I don't know if they're going to be going away for a while or what. I don't, because I don't see a direction outside of that they're going to go with. I don't.
Right. Right. Unless they do what Jabe was talking about. Jabe wants to go on Monday night. And maybe they send Jade and her crew over to Monday night. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because when you look at it honestly, why would you have two heel factions in one small division, the women's division? Why would you have them on the same night? You know what I mean? To me, that just doesn't make a lot of sense.
yeah,
Then
and,
you're
yeah.
dividing it up.
I was going to say, and Lee just brought up a good point. They're pairing
Yeah,
Bliss with Tatum.
yeah,
So that's going to be a nice little tag team, and that was a nice little nod to Bray with the
yeah,
doll.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Where they're gonna land because they got to move some people and
yeah,
have them do some stuff. They can't keep them how they are. But let's since we have a good connection with Jay, let's just get this out of the way. Jay,
putting it on the
tell us
plate.
about Zilla. Oh, don't
Watching
tell me he
perfect.
froze. I think he froze. Tell us about Zilla, Jay. What were your feelings about Zilla?
Yeah. Finally, it happens. And you know what? At first, I was mad about the NXT debut. At least do an NXT pay-per-view debut. But the more that I watched it, the more I went back on it. I was like, you know what? If they were to bring Umaga's manager and maybe they're gonna wait until he goes main. Be great. He attacked Grayson Waller. Gets submitted by everybody's debut. Everybody gets beat up. Everybody. And so with Zilla,
Right. Oh, the technology is not our friend tonight.
Okay, if everybody just donates $1 to Jay's internet fund, we'll be okay for next week, all right?
Right.
No, it's just like you were saying. But he also brought up Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller last week. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Jay, but Grayson Waller last week cut one of the greatest promos ever since 2011's Pipe Bomb. It was fantastic, and I wish he would. I wish he's been doing that since day one, and he hasn't. But go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry, or not.
I don't know if he's. Are you frozen, Jay? Are you there? All right. I don't know if he's frozen or if he's going to talk. If the mic's gone. Any which way, continuing on. There was a lot of heat. A lot of people didn't like the way they brought Zilla out his debut, but if you think about it, it makes sense. Make him a complete monster on NXT and then bring him up to Raw or SmackDown. I think that's the plan. Build some momentum for him. Not that he doesn't have any momentum because he's been in the Indies and he does have a lot of momentum behind him. But I think that way he can get used to the way that things are done in WWE and then move up to the main roster and really show what he's capable of doing. And I do agree with Jay. I really think they need to have Umaga's manager come and manage him. I think that would just be a really cool nod, and that would be awesome to happen. So,
Yeah, and I also heard I think he has another brother coming up too. It starts with a T, I think it
yeah.
is. So this bloodline is going to go on forever and ever and
So,
ever and
so
ever.
here, here's the problem though. I saw an Instagram post today, and they were showing like Roman's got 5 more cousins. The Usos still have 1 more brother and all this. So, are we just going to change it to the Samoan Wrestling Federation? Because here's the
I don't
problem: at some point, you have to say enough's enough. I don't care. You may be great, but variety is the spice of life when it comes to wrestling. You can't just have, And then another guy was talking today, and it does. I mean, we said this before. It's going to get out of hand like the NWO did, where how many members are going to be in this?
Yep.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Exactly. See that's what made DX great. There was only 6.
Right,
At most, there were 6, and they didn't
right,
go any further than that. They had the honorary that was just a
right,
one-off. That was it. But yeah, it's just and then at what point, you know, who when do you stop? Like
right,
like when do you stop this? Because Roman can't wrestle forever.
right,
They took Jay off the main top of the heap, and now he's mid card guy. You
right.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll definitely see. It's going to be interesting to see who else comes in, but man, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening. Um, the next couple weeks should be pretty good. But I
Yeah.
got a question for you, Sasquatch. I heard this today, and I thought about you when I heard about this. So you know how you got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal,
Yes. That's on
and
Fridays before
yeah,
WrestleMania.
yeah, and then you've got the ladies Battle Royals that they've done.
Yep.
Why don't they do a little people one with like Hornswoggle and all of Danhausen's ones, and they got to throw them over the bottom rope to get them out. I think they should do that. I think they should do a little person's battle royal. I think that would be fantastic.
I don't think they would have more than 10. You know what I mean? Because you would have like 6 Dan Asens, Hornswoggle, and like El Torito, and that's it.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot more out there. We could get them. I mean, I think it would be fantastic. I would pay to see that battle royal. What about you? Would you pay to see that?
I mean, I would pay to go see micro wrestling, but I would not pay to go see that battle. At least not on WWE roster. The micro wrestling. There's a battle royal. I'm all for it.
All right. So maybe we call all them up and be like, hey, let's have a battle
I mean,
royal match.
they are on tour. They just did 3 shows in like the last 4 weeks here around me. So, yeah. So
Right.
yeah.
Or we could have a handicap match. We could have like 10 of them against one Sasquatch.
So it'd be like the King Kong Bundy match from like
Yes.
30 or 40
Yes.
years ago.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
I can see it, but then at the same time, you're going to get massive backlash. I'm like, well, why is he fighting a little person? I'm like,
No,
it just
no,
it didn't
no.
work then, and it didn't work now.
I don't know, Scotch. If there's 10 of them, my money might be on them.
I mean that.
You can do a lot of stuff, but I don't know if there's 10 of them, man. That's a lot, dude.
I mean that's like asking how many 5-year-olds can you take out at one time, or and you can fight at one time. Like, why would I do that? Like, that's a lose-lose situation. You lose to a bunch of little folks, even though don't get me
Right.
wrong. I
Right,
probably get
right,
my butt handed to me by a bunch of little folks, but guy my size loses to them. Like, well, how do you lose to him? Look how big he is. Well, if I
right,
beat him, like, look how big he is. Why is he beating up on little folks? It just doesn't
right,
work.
right,
So it's a
right,
lose-lose situation in my book.
right, right.
So
Yep. No, I feel you, Squatch. Sometimes the weight that you have to carry being a Sasquatch,
it's
the
the
moral the
weight
moral
of the
decisions, the
world.
moral decisions you have to make.
The weight of the world's on my shoulders, man. You have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. I can appreciate that. I understand. and a bunch of little people are now safe because you won't do the battle royal with them. So
Exactly. You have a better chance of me entering the WNBA than you do me fighting a bunch of little folks. Just saying.
kind of interesting for you, seeing you throw some bows and some clotheslines in the WNBA, man.
I
But
mean,
the question is, would you keep the beard or would you shave it?
no, I keep the beard. Enos Cantor, I think that's his name, or he might have changed it. Is keeping the beard. He's identifying as a woman. I might as well. You can't discriminate against me.
Right. Heck yeah. uh, and I know you watch a lot of the indie stuff.
Yes.
Anybody else you've been seeing going to be coming up, that up and comers that you see? Anybody coming up?
I still like the Leo Rush stuff. That still hasn't gotten old. He's gotten shot. He's gotten
It's
Shotzi involved in it.
okay.
Yeah. If you watch MLW, I think it
Right.
shows on YouTube. That's actually a really, really good show. There's
No.
there's there is an AEW and ROH. I think it's ROH. There's a trio between this tag team and Dalton Castle. Oh, I forget the guy's name. They do this move where their finisher is like this double elbow drop in the middle of the ring, and
Right.
it is so funny. Like it just that there. I forget the
Right.
name of the tag team. I'm gonna have to look it up. But I'm sorry. But yeah, like Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of up and comers and people on the independent, let's talk about a hot story that was going around. AJ Styles' son, Avery Styles, catching some
Yes.
flack because he wasn't helping with setup or takedown.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to something today, and they were talking about it, and you know, the AJ Styles defended him, saying, "Hey, you know, you didn't pay him to come there and set up. You paid him to wrestle. He did what he did, you know." And a lot of guys that are like 5 matches in, like him, are like, "Hey, I got to do this and that." But you know, the bottom line is, they're not paying you. They're not flying you out to do shows. They're flying this kid to come out and do shows. He's drawing money. So, not saying it's right, but in another point, he is the one that is the draw, and he is a
At,
second generation. So,
at
you
that
know, that's
at
probably
that
why,
at that
you
same
know?
time, Little Nate, the ref for
Sure.
WWE, is
Yeah.
breaking down and setting up the rings. You don't pay him for
Sure.
that. You pay him to be a ref. But
Sure.
there's this thing called paying your dues, and
Sure.
you have to
Sure.
do it. Like no matter what
Right.
job you do, you got to do the grunt work before you can take off.
Right.
You're not gonna come in unless you're like a first round draft pick,
Right.
you're not gonna come in and be a super
Well,
mega star right out the
well,
gate.
what's insane though is how many guys like Cody Rhodes and some of the other top ones defended him about that. That it, you know, he doesn't have to. And there's a lot of them that are standing up for him, saying, you know what, he doesn't have to. That wasn't what you got. You know, that's not what you brought him there for. And you know, it kind of sucks because you know, for somebody like if I was in this position where I was like, okay, I'm nobody, I'm trying to get in, I got to come in and set that up and do all that, but at the end of the day, he is a second generation star, so he's going to get treated differently than me.
Yeah.
So,
And
you know,
the same people that are complaining that he doesn't have to do it are the same people that got brought up in a system that didn't come
yep,
from the indies, they didn't come from a
right,
wrestling school. They got brought in from a system, learned how to work in the system, and didn't have to
right,
do any of
right,
that. I mean,
right,
it's just no matter who you are, like there's
right,
always going to be like the one wrestler that, especially in the indie shows, because I don't know if you guys been to a lot of indie shows, but a lot of times the talent helps
yeah,
break down the ring.
yep,
But then there are those guys that just walk out and say, "Oh, well, that's not my job." But it's
right,
just it's not mandatory; it's customary. Just put it that way.
right.
So,
I also
oh, but
think, you know, something that he's missing out of too is that, you know, one day he's probably going to work with some of these people again. Wouldn't you want to wouldn't you want to get the camaraderie going at an early state? You know, like, hey, this guy,
yeah,
you know, he was a second gen, but he stayed back and he did help
yeah,
us and he did put the
yeah,
hours in, you know, just
and
kind of builds the camaraderie better, you know?
and it doesn't make him look good when you consider this is his first match or second match, live match, and he's
Right.
not doing. He's big leaguing everybody, saying you don't have to do
Right.
that. You know,
Right.
like it's not a good look for him. So,
Right.
oh, and that tag team I was talking about was called the Outrunners.
Hmm.
They're probably my favorite tag team on the scene in any division right now. So,
Right.
I don't know,
If I
dude.
if I can address this one too,
Yeah,
Alley
I
Cat
want
says
to.
I am not a fan of Mason Rook. I think he needs to go. I think Mason Rook needs to do what Wally did. I think he needs to drop some weight, hit the gym. I think he's got talent, but I think he needs to develop his look a little bit better. Because look, I mean, I'm not a huge Gunther fan. I just recently, in the past year, went back and looked because Sasquatch is a fan of him, and I looked at Wally, and then you look at Wally and his transformation into Gunther. He put a lot of hard work in, man.
yep.
I
Yeah.
think that's the same thing with Mason Rock. If he can put the work in, drop some weight, um, I think if he improves his look, drops the weight, I think he's got a better career than what he
Mhm.
what he is now because people look at him and go, well, yeah, he doesn't look the part. So I'm not opposed to him. I just think he needs to put some work in and make himself
I
more presentable.
okay, so internet connection working great.
Mhm.
Mason Rook, I think I'm not a fan of the onesie,
Yeah,
wrestling gear. And
yeah,
that's what and they always put the big guys in there.
right,
I think, like you said, he puts in the work. Give him 3 years. You're looking
yeah,
at a guy that, as big as he is, can move the way he can,
right,
and he can move and he can do some amazing moves.
right,
Let's see what he looks like in 3 years when he's shredded. I think your
right,
attitude's going to change about him.
right. Well, here's the bottom line: you can't be terrible and get to where he is, right?
No, right?
Somebody had to see something in him that moved him up the ladder to get to NXT, right?
Yeah.
So I think he just needs to be polished. I think we're in the final phase of, hey, we're going to work with you. We're going to, we need to get you dropped down 20 or 40 pounds. Let's drop some weight off you. Let's get you looking a little bit better. And let's change up how you do a couple things. And I think that'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. But as he sits right now, if he doesn't, I don't think he's going to have a very big career in WWE if he doesn't change up some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. What was it? Brian Scalabrine once said, "I am closer to LeBron James than you are to me for basketball
Yep.
wise."
Yep.
Same thing. Like,
Same thing. Yep.
it. You might not look the greatest, but if you can move in the ring, unless you're a
Right.
powerhouse, unless you're looking like
Right.
Vader, where you're just like this all the
Right.
time, that's something
Right.
different. If you're big and muscular or big
Yeah.
and somewhat jacked and not just big, it
Right.
does definitely play a role in how you're going to get pushed. But yeah, Mason Rook, I'm not I don't know enough about him to actually be
Right.
able to form an opinion. I've seen like 2 matches of his, and that's just recently. So
Right. And you're absolutely correct with that comment you made because a lot of people don't get it. Like, it's very easy for the internet wrestling world to sit back and go, this person sucks or they're terrible or whatever. But they're there for a reason. They've made it
yeah,
as far as they can because they do have skill, they do have some talent. It
exactly.
always cracks me up, like there are some now where you look at it. And the easy one is Jade Cargill, right? Oh, she can't win by herself. I'm like, you do understand it's storyline, right? She has a faction. She's not supposed to win by herself. That's storytelling, that's storyline. And people, there's lots of wrestlers they do that too, and you're like, it's all storyline.
Mhm.
There's a reason why these things are happening. It's not like the good old days where good guy came out, bad guy came out, they just wrestle in the ring and it's a clean. You know what I'm saying? It's different now. So I think a lot of people don't realize that, you know.
Yeah, I used to look at Next like, I'm not watching this. This is like, just some newbies or whatever. But you got to be surprised at how many look at all the next stars that
Mhm.
were next and now are champions. Look at Seth
Right.
Rollins. Look at Roman
Yeah.
Reigns. Look at the and I'll kick this to a dead horse. Look at the evolution of Bray Wyatt from where he was and from FML to
Right.
next to creating the Wyatt family to now. I mean, like all these people that back in the day when it was Attitude Era and everything, you didn't have Next. You just had
Right.
these indies and everything. And now you get to see these people grow into superstars. So whoever's in Next, whether it's Mason Rook, whether it's Zilla, you know, it, if they would have did Zilla like they did Jade, I think that he would get completely squashed the way that Jade gets talked upon. I mean,
Right.
look at the way Solo Sokola was in Next, and now he's getting a little bit more big hype now. But for a while, it was like, oh, they buried him quite down.
Right.
You got a lot of these young guys that it's going to be the next generation for the next 10 to 20 years. So
Right.
give Next a chance, give the guys in Next a chance, let them develop, let them build their characters, because you can't just bring you're not going to put Mason Rook on Raw and SmackDown. He's not ready for that. But
Right.
he's growing, and all these guys are really good. Like, I mean, even someone like AEW, or even if they go to other corporations and stuff, I mean, like, they're just gonna get better and better with time. We're seeing them in the first phase, so you can't really judge them that quickly. I was always the one that judged them quickly, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't like Seth Rollins back in the day. I still don't really like CM Punk, but I mean, look at where they are now. Look
Mhm.
at where these are. Not everyone can leave a company, build a company, come back and be top guy.
Yeah.
You know, these are guys that are going to do something big in the next 5 years. These guys are going to be. We don't have Seth Rollins for long. We don't have Roman for long. We don't have Randy for long. Randy's the last of the 2000s. Ray. I guess Rey Mysterio is not wrestling anymore. He's general manager of AAA. So,
He's wrestling Chad Gable.
oh yeah, Chad Gable. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So,
wrestling him.
but we've got two legends left of my generation. Everyone else is retired.
Mhm.
So, wait till you see what these guys pop off with in the next 5 years.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Well, that being said, guys, next week, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? What if next week? Do we want to have a topic next week?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I haven't thought this far ahead, so I'm sorry.
Next week. Okay. So what about I mean, what's the next big one? Survivor Series, right?
Yeah, and that's not for. Uh, let me look it up. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Don't we
But
have money in the? We have Money in the Bank coming up, don't we?
Money in the Bank. Money in the
Is that
Bank.
coming up?
And I don't know, like, some of these guys, that case changes their career. Look at Edge. You know,
Right.
you wouldn't have thought that Edge would be the star that he was until he
Yeah,
won that case.
you got Saturday's night main event, the 6th of next month, and then Money in the Bank is October 10th. So we still got like a month and a half.
I
So
thought they messed up the first time I heard it because it's actually Sunday night's main event this time. It's
yeah,
on a
Oh,
Sunday.
wow.
Yeah, it's on a
I know.
Sunday.
Weak,
Yeah.
weak. But
Yeah.
I have a what if of, what if this person or that person wins the case. Career changing. Career
Right.
changing.
Right. Well, yeah, we'll think of something. Let me know, guys. We'll post it up. We'll have a themed segment next week. But guys, before we leave, as always, go out and check out Elegant Sasquatch. He has got some stuff dropping this Saturday. He's got some stuff. If you
yes,
have
sir.
not checked out his Greek God one, it's a 4-piece. I got all four. I'm wearing all four of them this week. You will not be disappointed. Check him out. Suplex gets you 20% off all orders. Check him out. You will not be disappointed. And plus, Jay's been doing a lot, and Elegant's got to keep Jay fed since Jay is like half owner or 3/4 or 25%, whatever he
I don't
is.
know.
He's a third owner.
He's a third.
I didn't
owner,
get that
so
email.
Did you check your spam folder?
Oh yeah, hold on.
so definitely we want to make sure that Jay is being kept fed and in house and everything. So
But hey, speaking of Elegant Sasquatch, boy is about to be dropping some heat. He's got like 4 or 5 cents coming too.
Oh
So-
no, I got like
Yeah.
5 to 6 dropping next month. I got one drop.
Right.
I got one dropping this Saturday at 7 a.m.
Right.
and then I got a new oil blend dropping this Saturday at 7 a.m. also. So.
Yep.
And my bone I wanted to pick with you. Now I have to restock my whole line for your. Come on, man.
I don't know. Can your beard take a thicker oil?
It's white beard. It's white beard.
Oh, it's
stuff.
white beard.
Mine can't. It doesn't work for my beard. So
I'm not replacing 30 oils for your
that's
new
fine.
blend.
That's fine because you got to replace 40. You got to replace 45 now, not 30.
If he's 30 spray, he can replace 30.
Yeah.
It looks like
like
we're gonna have to update our thumbnails and our images because Elegant Sasquatch is dropping some heat.
Yes,
very much
dropping some heat.
So,
So, Ray, guys, I will see you next week. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for watching the replay. Jay and Squatch, why don't you both send us out this time?
Suplex Syndicate
is out.
Yeah. Hit the button.